here we are on the transmission pump. Remember, I had a hard time getting this pump out. I had to cut the casing, transmission casing, to get this out. And after further investigation, I believe they glued it into place. So we will not be gluing this back into place once you get this all cleaned up. I used my scraper so far, scraped off some of the gasket that I could get. Now I'm going to use a green Bright Boy. Let me cut it in half, and gotta get all the gasket off of this. I don't know why they decided to glue it into place. Not a good idea, and it was hell getting this out. So I'm going to use a little engine degreaser on these pads, on where this gasket was, and get it all soaked. And then I'll just scrub the crap out of it. So you don't want to mar or scratch the surface. This goes against the transmission housing, and it needs to be, all the gasket needs to be removed from this as best as we can, and the glue or whatever they used as well. Got some 220 grit sandpaper. I'm gonna go ahead and lightly sand the gasket off in spots. Okay, well, with all this cleaned up now, gasket's pretty much off. There's still some blemishes, but it's smooth to the touch. I think it'll be fine. I used 220 sandpaper, some engine degreaser, and a Bright Boy green Brillo pad to get this done. It looks pretty good. So now we're going to move along to taking this apart. You're going to need a 1/2-inch socket on here, and we can get going on that. Got to put my battery in, my electric impact, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I'm just going to take these loose. I'm not going to take them all the way off for right now. Just loosen them up. Okay, and that's loose. Feel that move around. 1, 2, 3, there's 5 bolts that hold the bottom of the pump together. So I'm going to support the bottom and take it all the way off. Save your bolts, because you'll need them again. Okay. Alright, now that the bottom is off, we will go ahead and take this and set to the side. looks pretty clean in there. You got a thrust washer right on top. I'm just leaving that in place for right now. Don't want to lose that. You got rings around here that need to be replaced. 1, 2, 3, 4 rings. And I've got those in the rebuild kit. We'll get those replaced. But first, let's go inside the pump and check things out. So inside here, you've got your gears right here. This is the inside gear, and this is the outer gear, and this is what they call the crescent moon. So we're gonna pop these out, take a look at them, and see how they look. They look pretty clean. Not too terribly bad. I do have new ones here. I'm going to go ahead and replace these with the new ones since I already have them. We probably could have got away with using these over again, but since I have new ones, there was a little wear on the teeth right there on the edges. Not much. Nothing to be concerned about, but there's that gear, and then we'll take this inner gear out. The fluid holds it in pretty tight. There we go. That comes right out there. And I have a new one of these also, so we're going to replace that as well. It actually looks pretty good. I did not need new ones, but that's okay. We will go ahead and replace those. So looking inside here, clean it all up. Bushing looks pretty good. I do have a new bushing. Problem is I don't have anything big enough to knock that bushing out. Starting to come out. Just keep working at it. What I'm doing, I'm setting the side of the socket on the side of the bushing and tapping it out all the way around. A little hard. I don't have a bushing set to push this out. I would recommend that you buy a bushing set. That's what I should have done to get this out. There, I got it. Okay, that's the old bushing. Okay, so to get the new bushing in, there's a weep hole right there. Want to make sure this is lined up with that. I do have to put a seal on here, and that gets tapped in there But first I'm going to use, I saw several videos where people actually glue this in. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got this stuff they recommended. It's by 3M. It's weather strip adhesive. Excellent bond strength, firmly bonds gaskets and seals. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit on this. It doesn't take much of this stuff. So I'll just put a little dab on there. And I'll just spread that around. You don't want to get this on the inside of the seal, just on the outside before you tap it into place. And it sets up rather quick. So we'll get that in there right now. Okay. So yeah, this stuff is pretty good stuff. Get this at AutoZone. It's like $7.87. Not bad. So now I'm all set to reassemble all this and get it put back together here. So now we'll open up the new gears. Put a little, or assembly goo, I mean. Don't want to put it together dry. And nothing worse than a dry start when you start this thing up. So put a little we'll put a little assembly goo on this. That's good. And we'll do the same thing with this one too. Okay, now that we've got the pump all back assembled here, there's a few other things we got to take a look at here. Just to recap, we've got the new gears inside the pump here. These have been replaced. These are the old ones, which still look pretty good, but I went ahead and got new ones, so I went ahead and replaced them. Behind that, we've got the new bushing. This is the old bushing. Next, we have a thrush ring, which I'm going to go ahead and take that out. Important thing to remember when you're putting this thrush ring back in, there's two tabs in here, and there's two notches on each side. Be sure to get these tabs back where they should go. It'll go in that way. And there's two weep holes that go in here, and be sure that the notches match the weep holes here, and so the fluid can get out and distribute where it needs to go. So we'll get this cleaned up. It's still good. There's not a lot of wear on it. We'll just wipe that off. and we'll put that back in. So when I'm done, what I'll do is I'll put some assembly goo on the back side of this thrush washer, and that assembly goo will help it hold into place here. So we'll just set this right off to the side there. Next we have 4 rings. You got the top ring, a second ring, and a third, and a fourth. I do have these in the kit here. There's different sizes and different thicknesses in here. So when we get these off, we'll compare and find the right rings. So these fit together, and what you do, I'm trying to do this with one hand here. So you just pull this, take that so that it comes apart like so, and you separate all the rings that way, and then you can just pull it out. Start with the top, second, third, and fourth until they're all the way out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a screwdriver to help pry it out, and just backs off just like so. We're going to set the top one to the right, and I'll get the next one going here. Okay, so I went ahead and set out the rings that I needed. They're all the same size. I double checked everything. They're all the same thicknesses. So I'm going to start from left to right, and start putting these in on from the bottom up. What I'm going to do first is I have some transmission oil here. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the transmission oil, so we're not putting them on dry. And these are very breakable, so you want to be careful putting these on. And then the final step is taking this thrush washer here and putting some assembly goo on the back side of that. And again, the assembly goo helps lubricates everything, and so it's not going together dry, and it also helps hold it all in place until you can get it assembled in the transmission. That completes the assembly of the pump. Everything has been replaced. Thrush washer, the inside bushing looks good. The new seal rings on the outside, and we got the new gears on the inside of here. That's been replaced here, and the new bushing on the inside. And on the bottom side, we also have the transmission seal for the front. Well, here we've reached the end of the video, and by this point we are halfway through the C4 transmission rebuild. Thank goodness. Thank you for watching, and hopefully these videos, I'm trying to keep them short, but there's so much to go over in the transmission. That's why I'm breaking each video down into about half-hour segments. So if you like what you see, if this video has been helpful, leave a comment or click like and subscribe, and look for video number 4 as well. Thank you. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.